Om Sri Lakshmi Narsimhaya Namaha. Valmiki Ramayana, Balakanda, chapter 14. King Dasharatha begins the sacrifice. Summary. The horse ritual of Emperor Dasharatha is started on the banks of Sarayu River. The details of the arrangements for the participants and visitors, along with some aspects of the Vedic ritual, are narrated. Chapter 14 in detail. Then, after completion of 1 year and on regaining the ritual horse, the Emperor Dasharatha commenced his Vedic ritual on the northern banks of river Sarayu, keeping Risharinga at the head of affairs, and those eminent Brahmins commenced Ashwamedha, the horse ritual of that noble-souled Dasharatha. Those well-versed conductor of Vedic rituals, called Ritviks, have started to perform works relating to ritual as per accepted principle and rules, and conducted them scripturally and customarily. On performing Pravargya ritual as per scriptures, like that Upasada ritual too, those Brahmanas have customarily performed all of those other rituals minor to the main one scripturally. Then all of those distinguished sages are contented with what they have performed by worshipping gods already summoned. They also conducted early morning Savana ritual and its ancillaries and enjoined. The obligations addressed to Indra are well given as defined, and the flawless King Dasharatha also crushed the Soma creeper to squeeze Soma juice, and thus the midday Savana ritual has come to pass according to sequence. Like that, those proficient Brahmanas have also performed the third Savana ritual, and that great extolled soul Dasharatha according to the viewpoint of scriptures. Risharinga and other best scholars, with their well-lettered and uttered Vedic hymns, having invoked Indra and other gods to that place. The Hotas, invocators, have welcomed the celestials for partaking oblations by singing Samaveda hymns sweetly and harmoniously, and on inviting them with Vedic hymns, they have offered oblations to them. There is no unburnt oblation resulted in that fire ritual, nor even a small misfortune slipped in the performance of ritual. Everything appeared conforming to a great rule, correctly and hymn oriented. Indeed, the ritual is performed in a secure way. In these days of ritual, none found there to be a weary or hungry, and there is no single unscholarly person, nor any Brahman without at least 100 trainees. Given any time, the Brahmanas, servants, sages, and pilgrims are fed with food, for their arrival at that place of boarding is unpredictable, and that arrival is dependent on their duties for Brahmanas, and by their masters for servants, and for pilgrims that do not have a particular time of arrival or departure. Elderly people, sick ones, women, and children, though dining on always thus, there is no satisfaction to Emperor Dasharatha, for it appeared to be too small a serving, and a lot more is to be served. Food be given abundantly, clothing be given variously, are the directives according to king's men have distributed numerously there at the ritual place. Heaps of foodstuffs are also appearing there, many of them and mountain similar, which is made available customarily day after day. To that ritual of that great soul Dasharatha, masses of men and women have arrived from different countries, and they are well pleased with the magnificent food and drinks supplied. The eminent Brahmanas have appreciated the food that is prepared by perfect cooking to be relished, and it is heard as they said, O Raghava, blessed are you, for we are satisfied. Well decorated men have served food to Brahmanas, while others who wore gem studded and lustrous earrings have helped them. Those eminent Brahmanas that are good debaters have debated many intellectual debates to defeat each other during the gap periods of ritual works. Day by day, those expert Brahmanas have performed all ritual works as encouraged by Vasishtha and others and as contained in scriptures. There is no scholar without the knowledge of the 6 branches of Veda. None who is an unavowed scholar, none who learnt less scriptures, and none among the members of the ritual of that King Dasharatha is an inexpert in debating. Thus, all are scholarly Brahmanas. When the time came to stake wooden ritual posts, 6 posts of Bilva wood, 6 posts of Khadira wood, and further the same number of posts of Parnina wood are staked. 1 post of Shleshmataka wood and 2 of Devadharu wood are staked, and then the distance between each post is maintained at the length of extended arms. All of those posts are made by the authorities on scriptures and ritual scholars, and they are gold plated and decorated for the purpose of elegance to that ritual. They are altogether 21 posts. Each post is 21 cubits in height, and each is decoratively clothed with each cloth. Carpenters have carved all the posts well and built them strongly with octahedral surfaces that are smoothened, and thereby they are implanted procedurally. Those posts, draped in clothes and worshipped with flowers and perfumeries, are irradiant, and they shone forth like the constellation of 7 sages in the sky. The bricks for altar of fire are well designed and made according to rules and standard measurements. The Brahmanas, who are experts in the architecture of laying fire altar by calculating the ritual field with 1 ply rope, and decided where and how that shall be. The altar of fire is layered well with bricks in that ritual. The altar of fire of that king, the lion, is layered by expert Brahmanas in the shape of an eagle with golden wings, with its size being 3 folds bigger than the altar of other rituals. Thus, it has 18 separators, and fire is laid on it. In that ritual, animals, serpents, and birds designated to such and such deities are readied according to the scriptures' directives. The sages have arranged those animals that are to be there in animal sacrifices, like horse and other aquatic animals, in that ritual according to scriptures. 300 animals are tied to the ritual posts, along with the gem-like best ritual horse of the King Dasharatha. With great delight, coming on her queen, Kaushalya worshipfully made circumambulations to the horse and symbolically killed the horse with 3 knives. Queen Kaushalya, desiring the results of ritual, not wholeheartedly resided one night with that horse that flew away like a bird. Thus, the officiating priests of the ritual, namely Hota, Advaryu, and Udgata, have received in their hand the crowned queen, the neglected wife, and a concubine of the king. Next, as a symbolic donation in the ritual by the performer, the king. Then the priest, one with controlled senses and rich in scriptural wealth, took up the fat of the horse and cooked it as per scriptures, while drooping into the altar of fire to bake as a food to the celestials. The king Dasharatha smelt the smell of smoke as per time and procedure to be cleanse his own sin. Those remaining body parts that horse are there, the 16 officiating priests have procedurally flattened all of them into fire. In other rituals, the oblations will be offered into sacrificial fire with spoon-like sticks of plaksha tree. But in horse sacrifice ritual, they are offered through Vetasa creeper, a rattan plant cane. The horse ritual is to be performed for 3 days as laid down in Kalpasutras, the rules governing such rituals, and by Brahmanas. The penultimate parts of Vedas and the one performed on the first day is called Chatusthoma ritual. The ritual on the second day is called Uktyavam, and the next one performed on the third day is called Atiratha. These apart, many of the preordained rituals are performed there in that ritual as said in scriptures. The rituals called Jyotisthoma, Ayushi, and Atiratha rituals are performed, and also rituals of great kind like Abjit, Vishwajit, Aptoryama are performed. As the promoter of his own dynasty, that King Dasharatha donated eastern side to Hota, western side to Advaryu, and southern side to Brahma, and to Yudgata northern side is given in donation, and these were the donations stipulated in that great ritual Ashwamedha by the self-created Brahma from earlier times. On completing the ritual thus, the best man Dasharatha justifiably donated those lands to the officiating priests called Ritviks to promote of his dynasty. Then, on giving away the vast expanse of his kingdom, he, that glorious one, born in Ikshvaku dynasty, is gladdened. But all the officiating priests said to the king, who by now is rid of his sins, "You alone are capable to protect the earth in its entirety, and there is no use for us with these lands, and we are not capable to rule it either." Thus the priests are addressing the king. "We are always preoccupied with self-study and teaching of scriptures, O king. Thus you may give us something else in exchange, any modest thing. Let best gems, gold, or cows, or anything else that is available you may give us. What is the use of this vast expanse to us?" So said the scholars. The king Dasharatha, the lord of people, thus requested by the scholarly Vedic Brahmanas, gave them millions of cows, tens of million gold coin, and the silver 4 times thereof. Then, on those officiating priests collectively gave that wealth to sage Rishiringa and to the enlightened sage Vasishta. Then all of those Brahmanas are well satisfied at heart and distributed among themselves the wealth passed on by Rishiringa and Vasishta, and then they said, "We are highly gladdened." Then to the other Brahmanas who arrived there to see the ritual, King Dasharatha sincerely donated 10 million gold coins. That descendant of Raghava dynasty gave an excellent hand ornament to someone who is represented by individual Brahman and who is wanting. While those Brahmanas are becoming happy, then that king and the patrons of Brahmanas venerated them dutifully with his senses fluttering with happiness. Then the benevolent and valiant King Dasharatha prostrated on ground, venerating the Brahmanas, and Brahmanas too chanted various blessing hymns on that prostrating king. Then that king is gladdened at heart for the successful achievement of the completion of that excellent ritual that removes sins and that leads to heavens as well, and that which cannot be undertaken by many of the best kings. Thereafter, King Dasharatha said to sage Rishiringa thus, O sage with best vows, you alone are eligible to perform the ritual for the expansion of my dynasty. That best Brahman Rishiringa, saying yes to that proposal, said this to King Dasharatha, O king, there will be 4 sons to you that elevate your dynasty. On hearing the sweet words of sage Rishiringa, he, that king of kings Dasharatha, went into a state of joy, and venerating the great soul, Rishiringa again said this to him. Thus, this is the 14th chapter in Balakanda of Valmiki Ramayana, the first epic poem of India. Sri Moola Rama Vijayate. Om Sri Krishnarpanamastu.